Alright, so this is my first music reaction. Just testing this out and stuff. But I really love Dax's verse in this. Um, Tom McDonald's cool, and I really like his expression and stuff, but I'm not the biggest fan. Um, I really like some of his other stuff and things like that. He's cool. Uh, but Dax, on the other hand, I really fuck with Dax. Um, so we're gonna get this started and kind of go through some different things. So we'll see what's up. First off, I think it's really cool that he has a Eminem shirt on because Eminem genuinely did really impact rap. Uh, there's a lot of people that want to do this whole cultural appropriation stuff and everything like that, and it's kind of ridiculous considering, if we're honest, rap mainly blew up in America. A low percentage of Americans are actually black. Most of the people that listen to rap are not black. So if it wasn't for white supporters or whatever, um, it would have never gotten as big as it did. Because most of, I mean, to my knowledge, I could be wrong, but for for the most part, I believe a lot of the grandparents and stuff, blacks were mainly into like soul and R&B and things like that. Rap was more so considered like an outlier, uh, troubled youth, and it was really related to gangs and things like that amongst the black community. So I remember growing up, like a lot of my friends' parents who were black, like weren't really the biggest rap fans. But of course, rap has completely changed now, and my personal opinion on rap is that if you were to showcase your opinion and uh, like say you had this motivational speech or this length of words that you wanted to showcase to someone, if you just gave a lecture, the odds of people connecting with it and actually listening to you is slimmer than if you were to actually put that in a rhyme or a rhythm. So, because of that, I think you can reach more by combining rhythms and frequencies with the words that you're spreading through raps. And all of these artists right here, Adam Calhoun, Tom McDonald, and Dax, definitely do that. So before I get targeted by anyone that, you know, I don't know everything about the black community or anything like that, but I do know that together we are stronger. Like, doesn't matter what race you are. Like, it's no longer about race. It's more about, and we'll get into that when Dax's verse comes up, but it's more about mental slavery now than it is about color. And there's all this like systematic racism and stuff like that, but there's more like classism than racism. And people confuse the two. Like, if a cop, just like going off stereotypes for a second, if a cop was to pull over a white, trashy looking guy that is symbol like similar to what their idea of a crackhead or like white trash or whatever, they will treat that white person differently than they would a white person that is cleaned up and looks like their family is in money or something of the sort. Like, so it's the same. And a lot of the issues with like a lot of racism things is people inevitably attach their experiences to their outward outlook on people or whatever. Like, if I'm robbed by a guy in a white car and all I hear about is white cars robbing people, then people are going to act like every person in a white car is up to something. And so you get to the point where you have to ask yourself, is it the community and the mass amount of the community that's like projecting certain lifestyles or viewpoints, or is it the people that associate experiences with their perception? Because if the roles were reversed, it would kind of be the same. Um, but enough about that. We'll kind of get into this more. The part like bumping Eminem, we all know the words. Like, back to what I was saying earlier, Eminem made such a huge impact on rap when it came to the wide acceptance and blowing up in the media and people connecting with something that at one point was seen as like, if you weren't black you couldn't really be a fan of rap or whatever, or you just like couldn't connect to it, or it was lame to like it if you like, not white people thinking other white people were lame if they liked it, but like a lot of this sucks so far. But I'll keep going. I just really don't like that Instagram line for some reason. But I definitely feel like Adam Calhoun had the weakest verse of the three of these. But I appreciate him for what he is, you know. And him and Tom McDonald's story is really cool because at one time they were kind of against each other, and they set their pride aside to actually have a phone call, and then in that phone call they ended up becoming friends. So like that alone is a testament of, if you actually just talk with people and come at things in a perspective of resolution and progress rather than an emotional attachment to voice your own concerns and talk about how you feel and things like that, because most of the time people don't get through it. Like they just go in circles and get stuck on their emotions. And I feel like, especially in today's society, emotions make you weak and easily controlled. Um, like politics, for example, they pander to the emotions of people to make them feel and think certain ways. And then most don't even recognize it because they're so caught up on the reaction of whatever's being said. But we'll keep this going. Like that part, he was fucking with Tom before he got canceled for speaking the truth of what it actually is. Like, he actually had songs with Tom McDonald way before Tom McDonald got as big as he did for voicing uh, perspectives on like politics and the whole BLM and all of that stuff. Which, I mean, most of the things he said, honestly, I can't think of anything that he said that I didn't really agree with. Um, so that is cool because Dax just seems like such a cool guy. Because, and when you actually listen to a lot of his own music, like, he's had a lot of, like, traumatic experiences and stuff like that. And it seems like knowledge, well, there's two things that I'd like to say here. Uh, Seems like self awareness and knowledge is greatly linked to solitude, and the people that have gone through the worst often have the most compassion for others and relatability or sympathy. Maybe not sympathy, because I, for one, I don't feel like I'm very sympathetic, but I feel like I can understand because of a lot of the things that I went through. Um, so we'll keep like politics, especially in America. It, well, the entire world really, but especially America, uh, a lot is based on propaganda, and which happens to be one of the songs Tom McDonald and Dax actually did was called Propaganda, so that's kind of ironic. But um, a lot of Tom McDonald's songs are in this area of conversation, which I appreciate, and a lot of people aren't doing that, and uh, I just wish it was more received by the ones that are actually opposing and causing issues with the stuff. Because instead, his music is more so championed by the people that are agreeing with him rather than enlightening or convincing the latter, uh, such as what Dax seems like he could do. Because he has taken something and actually went against the grain so much to where it's not like Tom McDonald is more like the outcast, the rebel, speaking up for what people really want to say. And Dax is more of his personal experiences and what he sees to be true, which are two sides of the same coin, mind you, but uh, people really seem to get lost in what they believe that politics are, when in reality, the Democratic side heavily uses pandering to influence and get their way with people. Uh, I I think that's definitely something to be concerned about. I'm pissed, but I like that part. Think of it, don't want to be enemies. Talk to me, talk to me nice. It's black, first white, it's wrong, first right. So I mean, mom, dad, race, religion, things we're born into. Like, that's something so crazy. Like, there are elements of life that you cannot change. You cannot change who your parents were, like your birth parents. I don't feel like you should be able to change like your sex and say that you are a female if you're born male. That's a whole other conversation. So I won't get into all that in this video. But I like that he touched on those things because it's like, at what point are you so affected by these participation trophies and snowflake concepts of not seeing life as it really is, but how something makes you feel, to get to the point where you can't even see life for what it is anymore. That's kind of like what I was talking about. Yeah, pretty cool. So this is a rough start to my first like review of a song, but just gonna keep it going.